This week, Mr. Trump claimed the use of Tylenol during pregnancy may be linked to an increased risk of autism and that pregnant women should limit their use, which contradicts medical evidence.
Effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol during pregnancy, can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good.
How profound and incorrect. Where's the science? So you don't believe in that? Let's take a look at some of the facts we feel compelled to give you. ABC News evaluated some of the president's past statements. Who drew the short straw on that job? The claim, Amish children do not get vaccines and do not get autism. In a statement to ABC News, the White House reiterated that rates of autism among Amish children is lower than that of non-Amish children. While autism rates indeed appear lower among Amish communities, experts say this is likely due to factors like limited healthcare access and cultural attitude leading to underreporting, not because these conditions are absent in these communities, experts say. The claim, kids get 80 vaccines, horse-sized shots. Some ingredients may not be safe. Now here's the truth. Children get roughly 30 vaccine doses before the age of 18, excluding flu and COVID, according to the current Centers for Disease Control and Prevention pediatric vaccine recommendations. In recent years, the number of additives and ingredients in vaccines has been decreasing, doctors have explained. Claim, Tylenol causes autism when taken during pregnancy. Pregnant women should tough it out. If you don't stay out of my womb. No studies in people have shown that Tylenol, acetaminophen. And I'm not even mocking that he couldn't say the word. I mispronounce lots of things. It's just the competence with which he likes to deliver things that aren't true that makes me point it out. Tylenol directly causes autism? Some studies show a possible link, possible. Other studies show no such link. But all existing studies stop short of showing cause and effect. Where's the study on direct cause and effect? Meanwhile, fever during pregnancy is known to have serious risk, including a higher risk of stillbirth, miscarriage. That's according to the National Library of Medicine. Allison Singer, who's the president of the Autism Science Foundation, said, quote, no new data or scientific studies were presented or shared. No new studies have been published in the literature. No new presentations on this topic were made at scientific or medical conferences. Instead, President Trump talked about what he thinks and feels without offering scientific evidence. Another claim by the Trump administration, reported by ABC News, Tylenol causes autism when given to young children. No studies have shown any link between autism and giving Tylenol to young children, despite Trump's repeated assertion that young children should not receive Tylenol. One large analysis of multiple studies found no link between giving acetaminophen after birth and autism or ADHD in children. You can speculate all you want. You can float things like, I wonder if we inject bleach, if that'll cure COVID. But it doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's scientific or based or rooted in fact. People who, and particularly in extreme cases, have family members, children who are diagnosed with autism. And by the way, there's so many people who they function in beautiful ways, and they are actually beautiful minds. Don't want you to keep talking about curing them, by the way. But there are severe cases, and there's parents who are admittedly desperate and they do want to know why and they do want something that can change things. Okay? That's what they want. But this is that they'd love to hold on to something real. This is not real, Senator. And he, again, the chaos that he inflicts in communities and all of us where we just can't afford this. It's just I'm exhausted by it.
Yeah, amen to everything that you did, Sharon, and only the way that you could say it. Intelligence, humor, your sarcasm, your dry sarcasm, man. I wish I had that gift. I sigh deeply. So we know you and I don't have even a license to practice, so I'm not even going to go there. But causation and correlation, those are two words. I just want our causation and correlation. Autism as a disease, autism as a, because I don't even want to call it a disease, as a condition was detected far earlier than Tylenol has been on the market. So that's one thing we need to think about. Now, whether or not we should, as a society, revisit some of the scheduling for vaccinations, yeah, let's have that conversation, but not this way. And I need to go back, Sharon. I'm with you on that. I don't make fun of anybody that mispronounces words because God knows my tongue gets tied up from time to time and want to show grace. But your point about, see, he doesn't show grace. In order to get grace, you need to show grace. So that is important, what you said. If the president wants some real wins, family, can I just, Sister Senator, tell you, autism and other types of conditions that people may be born with, or the poisons in our air, our water, our food, doing away, reducing the scrutiny that the FDA can have, for example, softening them kind of rules that causes the human body to have to always constantly be in fight mode when we can do better to have clean air, clean water, clean food. These are things that the president can actually do something about. But no, they want to soften rules and allow corporations to poison our water, our air, and our food. Do y'all understand how contradictory what the president is doing? If he really wants to win, then let's have some universal health care so that families who have children, and not just children, the families themselves, can afford to get the care that they need to be able to live an optimal life. That would be a real win, Mr. President. You could do that. Or how about ending homelessness? That would be a real win. That maybe if you did something like these two things, you would force me to have to stand up and say, you know what, the president did that. How about increasing the minimum wage? So Sharon, I'm just giving examples of things that this president, with all his chutzpah and his administration, could really do that would have measurable positive results for the vast majority of the American people, instead of seeking out something by which they are beyond their depth. And RFK Jr. beyond his depth on this, not saying that should not be conversation, not saying that there should not be concern, but they are out of their depth and they are making up a win. Well, Mr. President, you don't have to make up a win. If you take some of them things I just enumerated for you, you could have some real wins that would have real positive, extraordinary impacts on the American people. I want them to do it.
Yeah.
President, I
But
want
see,
you to do these things.
the mark of a true competent woman is someone who said, if he does right, I'll give him credit. Right? You, Senator Nina Turner, would give credit where credit's due. That's not who he is. He's not going to be for universal health care because it would mean something silly like giving Obama credit. The name really ticks him off. Okay. He can't do that. If he were to acknowledge that there's no science in Tylenol, and you're actually going to hurt people. Fevers are dangerous in pregnant women. Have you ever been pregnant, Donald? That would somehow be hurtful to him and his ego. So you need someone who can be humble and temper confidence with grace and humility. It's just not his style. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it.